resume the recording. So. And so this part we should be at, so we had it last session, and let's continue with different things. So now we're going to hit the bricks and destroy it. And also we need to add score for every brick that is destroyed. So every time a brick destroyed, we're going to add a score. Do you have your score variable here? Have a look to see if you have your score variables.
Where are they?
Have a look. It's looks. You can search it by Control F or Command F. See where your score is it, because it might be defined in a variable part. If not, we need to do it. Yeah, we don't have it still.
No, I don't have it.
It's okay. So I think we're gonna do it today to add the score. That's if you see here we had a score.
Yeah.
Here it's live. So depending how many times the person could be use the game. So it has 3 lives. So like today. Today, I'm going to change this part because I haven't changed it. So it's, I think it's the 6th lesson. And here, I'm going to say collision detection function. So I'm going to make a function that detects a collision, that's a hit that happened. By which part? So let's see, after all variable we have, I'm going to define the function where so the first function that we have is key down handle, and I'm going to find the last function and add my new function there. So I have draw function. I think it's the last, yeah, it's the last function. So after this function, I'm going to define new function that is called collision detection. It's when how we hit the brake, open the bracket, and use for loop. For variable C, that is indicate column. So for column from 0, you see that the column less than break column count. If you remember how much the break column count was? How much?
Was it 5 or 3?
Column was, the row was 3, the column was
5.
5, exactly. So it's going to say from 0 to 5 and count the column. So for every column, next loop might be a row. The first loop is for column, then second loop for row column, sorry. Where R indicates row, start from 0 to say r less than the variable that we say break your count, that it was initiated with 3, and say r plus plus every time, add 1 time to our r variable, and say var equal b, var b equal bricks. The bricks that we had. So every bricks that we have, they have 2 keys. They have 1 key with C, that is column, and 1 with R. And then I'm going to calculate. So could you, for example, tell me what this bricks can be called? For example, you know, every bricks has 2 keys. 1, the name of column, and 2, the name of the number of row, the number of column and the number of row. So for example, the first one, I'm starting from here. It's bracket 1, bracket 1. So I'm just, for example, put it here. So break, the first one is break 1, 1. Could you tell me what's this break called? This one.
Center. I don't know.
Like the same that I put it here. So break this, the first one, from column 1, row 1. So for column 1, this one, for example, is break 1, 1, 1. The second one, this one, because it's in the column 2, row 1. And what about this one? How can I use it?
2, 2.
2, 2, yeah, exactly. So if I want to use it, I just say break 2, 2. Like that. So this one is indicate this break. So if I say no, we don't have 4, so 3, 4. What's this? What this one is indicated? Which one is the break? Which break is break 4, 3?
The fourth one along, then third one down.
Okay, third one down. 4 column, third one. Third one. Okay. That means the same things that it's happened in 4, the same thing is happen here. Every time that the loop's going to put the value for C and R, it's counting each one of these breaks. So it's going to every one of these breaks. And then I need to say if the center of the ball is inside the coordination of one of our breaks, we'll change the direction of the ball. So when the ball going to hit it, each of those should be what's happened? The ball should be
bouncing off.
Yeah, bouncing off. The ball should be change the direction.
Yeah.
And then the break should be destroyed. So the first step is to see which of these, actually the first row should be destroyed. Which one of the breaks? By saying if x axis be bigger than b in the just x part, and x less than b dot x equal break width, and y, now for y-axis, what's y bigger than b dot y part, and b dot y, y is y less than b dot y plus break height. I'm going after that define these two variables that I use here. Sorry, I have a typo. Careful that you don't have a typo. So it's break width, break height. We have two height. So if we actually are going to see if one of the break at the x-axis and y-axis it was heated, what's going to happen? I'm going to say d, if you remember we had a dy variable and dx, so dy should be minus dy. So at this age, I'm going to say the ball should be just change the opposite direction by saying minus dy. Because it's the ball in the y-axis, just hit the brake and then change. By saying minus dy, it say I ask the ball to go to the opposite direction. Now making the brakes disappear after they are hit. So here I'm going to the top that I made the brake. So this part that I made the brake, see, I need to change a bit here. So I need to say add a new status, a new property. So for this brake, this part, I need to add a new property. So back to the end of the, the beginning of the code that we initialize the brakes, like say var brakes equal square bracket. So here after loops that I define the brakes, and I'm going to add a new property. So we have x axis, y axis, does it start from 0, and now status. I'm going to keep what the status is. So the status is at the beginning initiate with 1. So remember to add this one. And then I'm going to find the drawbreaks that we had. So where we make our break function is here. I'm going to use the status here by saying, so there is a condition. So whenever we make the breaks, but we always have to check if the brakes, is it heated or not. So by saying if brakes C and with two keys row, column and row, we're going to check the status. Is the status, it's 1, that means the brake is still alive. If the status is 0, that means the brake it should be destroyed and disappear. So I'm going to put all this condition, all this code in the condition that we have. So this all going to a bracket like that. So I'm going to just make a comment for each part that I added today. The status check. I'm going to back. So don't forget which part is added. Comment status property added. Now is time to tracking and updating the status in the collision detection function. So I'm going back to the last function that I made for collision detection here. Collision detection function. Would you like to add so far whatever I asked? Do you like to write it, copy it?
Yeah.
So I started from the function of collision detection. Whenever you finish this function, tell me that I can just go up and show you the other added code.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Can you go up to the next one, please?
Okay. So I'm going to top. I'm going top. This part after variable part, I define breaks variable, and then I'm just add the status part here with comma. So comma status column 1. By saying status 1, that means the break is alive. If the status was 0, that means this is going to be disappear.
Yeah. The next one.
Next, it's going down, go to the draw breaks function. So here in draw breaks function, add if condition here with opening bracket and closing bracket. Sorry. Oops.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
So don't, did you close the bracket for it here? Okay. And then I'm going back to the collision function. So you need to use the status here. How? By saying b dot status is equal than 0. Now we're saying 0, that means the break should be disappear. When I'm saying that the status is 0, now the next step is to use actually this function, the function that we already made, collision detection. Where do you think I can put and call the function? If you remember, yeah, we call the function.
In the drill?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Draw, and I'm going up to find the draw function. So I'm going to change this function to a bit top before draw function. I'm going to cut it, select all, cut, and I'm going to put before draw function. Just to be a bit neat, you know, because the last thing that we going to execute is draw function. So now I'm going to draw function. If you see, I put it just before draw function. And the last thing, just call the collision function. After draw paddle called, I'm going to say collision detection. Just make sure you're writing the same name that we had in collision detection.
Yeah, mine works.
Does it work? Okay. Can I see?
Oh, only the first row works, so.
We can share now. Let's see. Okay. Oh, excellent. See, that was easy to just define it. Just say.
And the top one doesn't work.
Still in the first part, definitely. Okay, cool. So far, so good. Thank you. Let's go to the next step. Next step is to take the other row as well. So I have counting the score. I'm going to say first count the score. So what for counting the score we need first? What we need? Do you think?
A variable?
Exactly. So the variable, I put it as a name score with initiate number that is 0. And what was the next things? I'm going to define a function. So I'm going to doesn't matter. I'm going to put it in the after the first function that I have. So I'm going to have a space for my function and before the first function that I have in the code by saying function, it's called draw score. Okay. So what I have in draw score, I need to put the score name at the top left of my canvas. So if you see, I have the score name at the top left of the canvas that we have. So how are we gonna do it? If you remember, we have the function that we say, what's the x? So what's the x axis here and y axis here? That's, I'm going to say top left of my canvas by saying ctx. If you remember, we use ctx. And so is it, because it's not a shape, it's actually a word. So I'm going to define a font for it by size, saying 16 pixel Arial. The type of font is Arial. And the next one, I'm going to fill style. Very good. Fill style. Do you remember what was fill style for? You can cheat. We used it before. Do we? We used fill style before. So what was it? Do you know?
Is it color?
Exactly. Define to fill the shape or font or word we have with the color. So what color do you like to put? We don't need to put all blue. We need to more color, I think. Do you have a special color that you like?
No, blue. It's fun.
Blue? It's fun for you?
Yeah.
Okay, say blue. And say fill text. So because we have text here, we're going to put how we define and put the text by using the fill text method. And I'm going to say put the score word there and say add the score variables. Let me see, did I? Yeah, just lowercase s score. And the other part is where it's x coordinator is x and y coordinator is 20. So how I can say where you put the score word, it's say here, 8 and 20. So what do you learn? What do you think I'm going to put? So where I think, sorry, let me start again. The score, where a score should be at?
Top left hand corner.
No, we already did it. So if you do you want to see your code how it's run? So run your code and see where the score is going on. So where the score is.
Mine doesn't show up.
Oh yeah, because we hadn't used we didn't call draw score. So go down in draw function and call your draw score. How about now?
Mine doesn't show up.
Did you call the function?
Yeah.
Where did you put?
The function, draw function.
Draw function. Say, yeah, draw score. But make sure every part that you put in the name should be exactly the name function that you use.
Yeah.
Can I see your code?
Yeah.
I stop my share. Draw scores and font one. Yep. Okay. Since everything's okay, should work. And can I see where did you call your function? Draw score. Yep. So, and could you run it? See, please. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't show. Is it? Yeah, it doesn't show. Let me check mine. Mine is here, but I'm not sure why.
Is the variable supposed to be a capital S?
No. If you use it in a capital S, you should use it everywhere capital S. So let me check again. So that's true. Have you used it everywhere with capital S or no? Okay, true. Score. Did you save it again? Could you save it again? Save your, yeah, and then refresh.
So, still nothing.
Could you refresh again? Refresh your page again with Control F5. Sometimes it doesn't refresh because it's going to cache. So if you're using, is it Windows you're using? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Control F5, keep Control and then press F5.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay. Yeah, still doesn't show. It's weird. Okay, let me check again. What if you change the number in field text? So if you change the number, and could you put, put the, instead of say X, is it whatever, say something like a bigger number to see if it's could be in more bigger, like 15, 50, 50. Yeah. Let's see. And no, yeah. So what if you close your window, the window that you have in, yeah, close all, and then do me a favor before, go to the alerts. It show you game over, and just make a comment. We don't need it now. It's a bit distracting. Yeah, cool. And then save it and run it again.
This changes to blue.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can change the blue. Doesn't show. Are you sure that you run the same code that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's in HTML stuff and then things.html. So if you back to your browser, I'm going to show you a trick how you can find out what's going on. So here, right click in your screen and then inspect, yeah. So here, have a look if you have any score in the code. Open the code. You can research it by console. Yeah, go here and say score. Oh no, sorry. In elements, go and say Control F.
Yeah.
So you have one place scored. Look on the other part. Oh, it's going to close it for you. Keep searching, see if there is any place, show you just the first one. Okay. What the next one? Is it just one? Doesn't show you the other score you have. Or show you, yeah, it show you draw score, the function. So how many score words you have here? Just one?
This is the one.
That's the string. That's annoying. It's just close it. Okay. I'm going. What if you make comments for draw break function or draw ball function? That's the ball doesn't move. That is distracting. So not here because you call it already. So if you call it, you're going to draw function, and in draw function, in draw, yeah, where you call it. This one. Did you save it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now going to inspect, right click in your inspect, see what the square still. Okay. You need to okay, something else. Back to your code, make comments on your interval. The interval,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but call draw function. So because you already need the function draw call. So when we don't have anything here now. So we don't have anything here because you comment interval that is included to call draw function. So you can call draw function by in a separate way, not inside the interval. So at the same time that in 149 line, it's same say draw, just call the function, just leave that one and go to the next line and say draw. Yeah, draw, just open bracket and close bracket. And semicolon, yeah. Okay, now there is no moving, but let's see. Oh, there's no score. Could you tell me what how you use Sublime? Because did you buy it or?
It's free. Oh, there is a registered version that's
You got
costs
the
money.
Okay. Now it doesn't show any score. Okay, why? Doesn't mean it's mean that, let me the draw score. If you see my screen, you will see that score is showing. I just add the same, and if your code doesn't work, what if you just put your code in CodePen and see what you're gonna have? The same that we've done before. Yeah, does it make sense?
It's not there on this either.
Can I see? Share it again with me. Can see your code as well in CodePen. So at the top, just back the interval. So we need the interval. So we have the interval way. Yeah, and get rid of draw function. So we don't need to have draw function anymore. And just need to sign it. But yeah, okay. That's weird. What if we what if you use the score that's the end? So at the end of the coding this session, it's to add score in whenever the ball is hitting the collision detection. So back to the collision detection function and add, I'm gonna share my screen, show you, maybe it's work at that time. Have a look. Oops, not this one. Okay. So in collision detection function, go after b.status, that the status is say 0. When the status is 0, that means one of the brake is destroyed. Now we need to add one number into the score by saying score plus plus colon plus plus semicolon.
Yeah.
Okay, still doesn't show?
No.
Okay, what if I sent my, maybe you have an error like you didn't close the brackets somewhere. So counting that if you open the bracket whenever, make sure that you close the bracket.
Yep, did.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to send you my code because let's see what's the difference. So I'm going to send just, you have the score, I'm going to send it from here. So see from the breaks definition till just draw score. How can I send it to you? Okay, let's stop sharing. Get the chat. Okay, get this one and add it again. See, I'm going back. I'm going. What if now?
I've only gotten like barely any of the.
Sorry, say it again.
I haven't gotten all of the code.
No, I'm just send it to you the part that so
Okay.
from var breaks till the function draw score. Just copy and paste this part because all these other things
Oh
are
yeah,
the
that
same.
appears.
All the things are the same. We shouldn't have a problem with other pairs.
It works now.
Oh, it works. So maybe, what's the difference? Could you see? Maybe you have a different field text function like. Okay, we run out of the time and we had extra 15 minutes, but that's fine. Till it's work, we got the result. That's good. Do you have any question?
No, not really.
Good. The next session, we're going to, I think, finish the game. by
Yeah.
next step that breaks in the second and third row should be destroyed as well. Okay, cool. Enjoy your
Thank you.
weekend and have fun. Bye bye.
Bye. See ya.
See you.